What is up, guys? It's TMK. I know I haven't made a YouTube video in a minute, but I wanted to put this one out just very quickly because I wanted to show you guys kind of how I go about adding the little haze and bloomy effect. All right, so now we are here in Lightroom. This is the base image that we're going to be starting with. And just before we do anything, this process is actually very simple. So before we actually do anything, I'm going to show you guys what the image looks like as the starting point and what we're going to achieve once we do and apply the bloom and haze effect. So again, this is what it looks like, just base. And this here is what you're going to go try to achieve with that little hazy and bloomy effect all around the skin here and the highlights and different areas of the background as well. So very simple process. Again, let's go back to the regular base. Go ahead and reset all the settings so we can start fresh. First and foremost, whatever preset you like to work with the most. In this case, I think we're going to go ahead and do the preset Pro Fashion Film that I have here. As you can see, this didn't really change anything as far as structure of the face or detail or sharpness. It's just a straight preset right on the base. There it is. Nothing really changed outside of the preset. So first and foremost, what I like to do is turn the highlights down, because a lot of the times when I'm shooting, we do have areas like this around her jaw, maybe around here in her neck where the sun is a little bit brighter, the lighting is a little bit brighter. And when you go and do the little haze and bloom effect, it's going to make those pop a little bit more. So you want to make sure that those are turned down just a little bit to actually balance out. Contrast can go up just a little bit, at least for me. It's kind of what I like to do. This is all personal preference and based on what kind of your image looks like. So one of the most important things, though, is to turn that highlight down. Once you have the highlights down, the rest is kind of optional depending on your portrait. The most important thing lies here in the texture and the clarity. If you guys haven't figured this out already, like I said, it's a very simple thing to do and looks really nice if done properly. So the texture is going to go, obviously if you turn this up, you'll see we'll start getting a lot more texture and sharpness in the image. Okay, so as I move the texture bar here, you guys can obviously see that the higher I put this up, the more detail in the face, the more detail around the subject we're going to get. I've yet to find a reason to actually go that high, and I doubt you guys have either, unless you just like seeing all that texture in every single little pore in the face. We're going to do the exact opposite to achieve this. We're going to go down to, I like to say roughly around -30, -40. So for this case, we're going to do like -34, -33 on the texture. The clarity as well, as you can see, the more that we turn this up, the more that you can see, obviously it adds more sharpness and details. So in order to have that hazy and gloomy effect, we're going to turn this down almost equivalent to what you did with the texture. And that's kind of my balance on how I do it. It's usually if my texture is at a certain point, my clarity bar is just about roughly within the same frame. And as you can see there, we already have the haziness going on in her face where it doesn't look subnatural, and it doesn't look too out there. It's just enough to give you that little like bloom in the face. So with that being said, that's pretty much as simple as it gets. Sometimes you can go in and maybe adjust the dehaze to give it a little bit more glare. This is going to change the overall image, but you can mess around. I like to sometimes turn the dehaze down just a tiny bit. As you can see, it adds a little bit more gloom and bloom there. One last thing, as I mentioned earlier, the highlights will begin to pop just a little bit more. So I think the highlights were originally up here before I did anything to the image. So like I said, if you're looking to achieve that, that's fine, which doesn't look too bad actually. However, I don't like some of the face looking brighter than the other side. So because of that haze and that texture going down and the clarity going down, it makes those highlights just kind of spread even more. So the highlights have to go down just a bit. Maybe not that much, but around that area. Anything else I would do here? I'd probably just mess with the sharpening, turn it up, turn it down, depending on what you like. And for the most part, that's about it. Maybe add some green. That's all optional though. And that's how you do it. So that's how we went from this to this. And we can put them side by side so you can see the comparison and how much different that looks and how much nicer that looks to the skin. Alright guys, so that is all for this video. I know that was a quick and easy tutorial, so I hope this helped some of you guys out. I'm looking forward to making more YouTube videos come this next year. Thank you guys for the support. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Also follow on Instagram to keep up with all of my personal work. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.